Hello, my name's Ed Frawley. My wife and I own Leerburg. I have another good question here that was sent in to us through our Ask Cindy portal on the front page of Leerburg.com. And I say this in every one of these, you don't have to be a customer of Leerburg to send in a question, either on training, on breeding, on behavioral problems, medical problems. If we can answer it, we will answer it. We try and take a bunch of them that we think would be interesting to other people, and we do these little videos. We have a website, on our website, we have a database with close to 4,000 Q&As, and that's not all of them. We get them every single day, and Cindy answers them every day that she can. So this one is about a customer that has bought one of our online courses, and they want to know what age they can use an X-Pen for their dog, because they started using it at a young age and then they stopped. Now their dog is a little bit older and they want to know if they can take it and use the X-Pen again. I'll read it and then we'll talk about it. In your puppy 8 weeks to 12-month video, it has described how to use an X-Pen for a puppy. My question is, at what age is too old for the X-Pen? That's a good question. We used it on our puppy until it was 4 months old. And then we stopped using it again until 2 days ago, sorry. What age is it recommended for using in the house? We're having considerable issues with hierarchy struggles with our puppy lunging and biting us. The puppy's 18 weeks old right now. So, the answer is, and Cindy says this in her answer, that there is no age where you have a dog that you can't use an X-Pen in if you've done your foundation correctly. Obviously, it would be difficult to take an adult dog and put it in an X-Pen and have every dog accept it in an X-Pen. We can talk about that in a minute. So there is no age where a puppy is too old to be used for an X-Pen, especially if you've done your foundation right. If you've had the puppy in it for 4 months and you take it out and you put it back in, you're going to have to go back to the very basics of putting them in the X-Pen, only having them in the X-Pen when you're there, like right next to him. When the dog starts to act up, you're going to have to do something. We'll go up and bang on the X-Pen and tell them, lay down, knock it off. Or, we'll go up there and tap the X-Pen with our foot, say, knock it off, lay down. But we don't leave them unattended in an X-Pen once they get big enough that they can maybe start pushing an X-Pen around. I've got a Chihuahua right now that's very close to a year old. She's only about that big. And we have, 5 X-Pens in our house. We have the X-Pen in the living room, where we spend most of our time, where we watch TV, and she's in there with all her toys. We have the X-Pen in the kitchen, a littler X-Pen, where that's where she gets fed. All of her meals go in the X-Pen in the kitchen. We have an X-Pen next to my bed at night. She sleeps next to my bed. We have 2 X-Pens in the basement, one for her, and then we have another X-Pen in the basement we have a 2-year-old German Shepherd. He's not always in the X-Pen, but if we're in there and somebody comes into the house that doesn't want to have the dog around them, we'll put our dogs in the X-Pen. They learn to stay in the X-Pen. One of the ways that we will introduce our dogs, our puppies, to be off-leash in the house is like our living room has the X-Pen in it, but I also have a gate that allows the dogs to go in and out of the living room. We'll close the gate when they come in and we are sitting there watching TV. And after our dogs have been outside and exercised, after our puppy has gone out and peed and pooped, when we bring them back into the house, we'll let, like our little Chihuahua puppy, we'll let her be loose in the living room outside of the X-Pen while we're sitting there with her. We don't play with the puppies, and this is our decision. We don't play with our dogs in the house. Playtime is outside. When we bring our dogs in, we want them to learn to lay, be quiet, and decompress in the house. That's why we wait until we bring him back in. If we were to feed him and let her run around in the living room before we take it out, it wouldn't surprise me if she laid a little log in there because puppies go to the bathroom after they eat, have exercise, and sleep. So you have to adjust your day around the bodily function of your puppy. But the bottom line is an X-Pen is beautiful because it allows a dog to relax in the house and yet still feel part of the family, still feel like they're being part of the family. Like I said, with our puppy, she has toys in there. She can keep herself busy playing with her various toys, and we rotate toys all the time. There's always something new for her to do while we watch TV. It's a way for the dog to decompress too. If you have a young puppy that you're taking to training classes or whatever, it's nice to bring him back, let him, training and exercising involves a lot of mental stimulation. Bringing him in, putting him in an X-Pen lets him decompress. So we really recommend it. The key is, remember, we'll use an X-Pen forever with our dogs. Maybe not a lot. Let's say you've got somebody coming over and your dog is one of these dogs that has never met anybody that it doesn't love and doesn't want to get petted. But the people don't want to be petted. The people don't want the dogs jumping on them. You don't want to have to be in a position where you're always correcting and hollering at your dog. Take the dog and put it in the X-Pen. Problem is solved.